Hey, how's it going, everybody? I'm Stevie D, and today I want to do something a little bit different. I know usually I play a lot of games and I do animation stuff like that, but no one's really ever asked me how I do my thumbnail. So, just as a crazy idea, I figured why not show you guys kind of my process and how I go about making thumbnails for my videos. Now, it's no trade secret, it's literally just whatever the video's based on. I try to do my best to make a quality thumbnail that reads clearly and expresses what the video is about. That way it's not misleading. But sometimes, thumbnails can be a little misguided, but I really do try my best to make them clear as to what you might be getting into when you click one of my videos. So I like to work in 1280 by 720, and you can see I got some presets here already. Nothing fancy. I don't worry about renaming anything just yet. Resolution 720 for digital, and the rest of this I kind of just leave where it's at. So here's how my thinking goes. So I'm going to be doing a thumbnail off of a game that I just played, a really short game. But it's called Lasagna Boy. The game really is about this little boy or guy, I don't know what it was, and you gotta hide from this monster or something who had like tentacles and a pig face, and it was really bizarre. Anyway, so when I'm making thumbnails, I kind of try to pull all that information together. I do the best I can to recreate what I see in my head. Sometimes it's hit or miss, not always great ideas. Depends on what I'm trying to make. So I usually just go for royalty-free or stock images or any kind of public domain images that you can find online for free that you don't have to pay for, because I don't have a whole lot of money. So that being said, I use the best images that I can to recreate what I see in my head. So for my idea of Lasagna Boy, I'm gonna take it pretty literal. I'm going to literally make a lasagna boy. And lasagna is an Italian dish, so I kind of got this Italian theme, and it was tentacles on the beast, so I'm gonna do tentacles of some sort. And yeah, it's a boy with a lasagna head is what I have in my mind. So let's just jump right into this and see if I can do this without it making it look too terrible. I'm just gonna go ahead and throw in all my stock images just to get them in here. So there's my little boy. I'm gonna use his body. Then I got this squid kind of image, and I'm gonna use those arms somehow to make tentacles. I don't know, we'll see. And there's the lasagna. See how these images, they're not always perfect, so we gotta adjust some of this stuff. And then one of those table liners that you see at restaurants, and this is what I'm talking about, like in my head. This is just kind of an idea. Who knows if it will work? Maybe this is too distracting. I don't know. We'll take it step by step. Alright, let's just get right started. So right off the bat, I am going to rasterize every single layer because I'm going to destroy this stuff. So for this layer, I already know that I want to... Where is it? Flip. Oh, no, not horizontal. That's what I want to do. Alright, so I'm just going to blow this up because I know that I kind of want to have this in the background. This is going to be my Italian theme here. It really doesn't matter what we do with that just yet, but I will put that in the background so I can use that later. And I'll just turn that off for now. So for the lasagna, I just want the lasagna part. So there's a couple ways you can do this. You can use the quick selection tool here in Photoshop. And sometimes it does a pretty good job. Usually images with really bad contrast, it's kind of hit or miss. This is not doing too bad, I guess. For what lasagna is, it's really messy anyway, so you might not even notice what the deal is. And you can cut this out one of two ways. You can either mask it, which I do quite often, or you can just delete everything around it. I kind of like the masking idea, because then you can go back and kind of fix the mask later. So you can refine the edge here before you commit to it, and it's not bad. It's not bad. Maybe we can take the smoothness out a little bit because lasagna is a little sloppy. And you can always shift the edge here if you want to give yourself a little bit more room, but that actually works fine for me. I'm happy with that. Now you go down here and you hit the mask button and voila! You got yourself some delicious looking lasagna. Next thing I would do is I would adjust the levels first. So it's really dark. Not a whole lot of contrast, and you can squint your eyes at images to get a better feel for contrast. And then you can kind of beef that up a little bit like that. That's looking delicious. Ooh, yeah. That's kind of about what I want. I don't want it to be too dark. I'll just leave that there. Then we can go into like hue and saturation. Now if you want it to be really saturated, we can just kick that up, but that ends up making your image look a little crazy. You can also adjust the hue a bit if you're not liking it. Like if you want green lasagna, you can do that. But it's pretty good where it's at. I'm trying to remember that there's a lot of red in my background already, so maybe steer clear of the red as much as I can. That's not bad. That is not bad at all. Now, next step. I can just hide that for now. Squid tentacles. I'll come back to that, because that's kind of the last thought I have in my head. Show the little boy. And we can kind of do the same thing first, where we can adjust the levels, you know. It really doesn't matter which order you do that in. I find it don't matter. Don't want to over highlight it. Aw, he's such a cute little boy. He's so cute. Alright, so I'm okay with having the little, I guess it's a high chair or stroller front. That doesn't bother me at all. I might blur the text a little bit, but I kind of like it. Now, I don't need his head. I don't need his head. I'm going to be replacing his head with some delicious lasagna. You can see this quick selection tool gets a little wonky. Sometimes it can't really tell where it's going. Again, I try to remember that thumbnails on your phone really only are about that big. So they need to read, and fine details don't really matter that much unless you've got some big old monitor that you're watching your YouTube videos on. But I find that majority of people, they either look at the thumbnails from a normal computer screen, you know, 17-inch screen, 20-inch screen TV, or computer screen, or their phones, which are only about like that big, which, I mean, you're not going to see any fine details. So little things like this, you know, they're not too important, in my opinion, when I make these thumbnails for myself. Anyways, okay, that looks okay. You see, so you got some hard edges right here. But that's not bad. That's not bad. That's... Oh, was there? Oh, I guess that is how his arms were. Oh, okay. Oh, I'm just crazy then. I thought maybe that was the end of the image, but I guess not. Alright. Like I said, not a big deal. Let's just keep on moving. I'm probably gonna put a drop shadow behind this anyways. I do that quite a bit. And it's a really cheap trick to make things just pop. Especially on like really plain backgrounds, like white backgrounds. Or if you're making a glow behind a really dark background. It really helps. And that's where it comes into the making your images stand out with little tiny screens. It helps. Trust me. Alright, sorry kid, gotta cut your head off. I want to make him blow up a little bit here. So I can even do this too. See how I said I was gonna cut off the text in the front there? Yeah. That's fine for now. So, This is where we're starting to put the pieces together. So I'm gonna give him like a his lasagna head here. You can kind of see how we're starting to make this come together. I need to adjust this as the color on the kid here because it's not matching quite right. So sometimes I just jump to the color balance first because it's easier for me to kind of get a quick color in there. So I want to match kind of the lasagna-ish hue here. I don't know. Give it a little bit more warmer colors. Add a little bit of blue into the shadow. Well, maybe cyan. Highlights. Let's get this warmer here. Yeah. That's starting to feel good, right? Nice and warm. Okay, I like that. I'll just leave it like that. Easy peasy. Alrighty. Tentacle time. So this is a little bit more involved. So now I gotta decide which tentacle I want to use. And then I'm going to just stick them outside of his head like that. At least that's the idea in my head. Once again, I sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. And you can really pick and choose from any of these actually. So, quick selection tool. Let's see how well this works. Let me see this tentacle. Wow, that's selecting quite a bit. I make it a little bit smaller. Oof. That's gonna be a little bit more finicky with me, huh? Okay. Let's try this then. Yeah, like I said, sometimes this tool works, sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes it's finicky. It helps when you zoom in. It makes it a little bit easier for it to track. Yeah. I guess that looks okay. Alright, so usually I would, like I said, mask it. But I want to like make lots of copies of this, and if I were to make copies of an image that was masked, then I'd get the whole image. So I think you can just cut it like that. Let's just hide that for now. I'm gonna need to see Lasagna Boy's head here. And I can paste that guy in here. There he is. And I'm starting to piece the puzzle together. Alright, but first I want to do something. Yeah, that's fine there for now. Let me just get my eraser tool. I'm just gonna kind of round that part off there. Just like that. No need to be fancy. No need to be fancy. I need to adjust the levels on this too. Ooh, yeah. Less dark there. Okay. Ooh, yeah, that's starting to look crazy. Let me go ahead and go to hue and saturation. Give it a little bit more color. And what color should we make it? Just like this color of the lasagna? Or something more sinister, like green? I don't know. I kind of like the green. Maybe more of like a lime green. I don't think blue will work. Definitely not red. That blends in way too much. You know what? I'll probably just leave it closer to true color. Sometimes if you go too crazy with colors, it just starts to look weird. Alright. Let's just blow this bad boy up a little bit. Let's see if we got some room here. Yeah. Want one there. I'm just gonna make a duplicate. I can just drop that puppet down. Rotate that here. Yeah. Rotate this puppy down here. Oh yeah. that's looking crazy, man. Kind of looks like French fries sticking out of them. Oh, that's fine. That's fine. I'm gonna just make duplicates of these guys. Then I am going to flip horizontal. Stick them on this side. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's looking so bizarre. It's looking like what I had in my head. This is good. This is good. We're on the right track. You can always just. Ooh, what am I clicking on? You can always adjust some things, that way they're not 100% identical. Just like that guy. No way, add some variation to the image. What would be next? It's already looking pretty good. This is what I had in my mind. We can always add extra things. Now, I mean, the lasagna it's okay, but I think we can top that off a little bit. I've done this plenty of times in some of my other videos as just a goof, but I like to add googly eyes. Don't ask me why, I just do. Got some like weird brush settings on. No spacing, just a hard brush. Alright, this is on a new layer. Okay, how big should these googly eyes be? Yeah, I'm going with that size. Boom. And then give me the pupil here. How big should it be? Maybe this big? Ooh. You know what? I like it. It's a weird idea, but I like it. That works for me. Okay, here we go with the Photoshop effects. Now these are just cheap tricks. I like them because they're fast and easy and it gets the point across. So you can use global lighting if you want. It's up to you. But that just means if you use these effects stuff on every layer, they all follow the same lighting direction, which, you know, it's okay if that's what you want to do. Let's see. Get some googly eyes. So drop the shadows right there, makes them pop out a little bit more than they would. You know, sometimes you can add like a contour, bevel and emboss it. Don't use global lighting. And then you can give some light here. Oh, wrong one. Wrong one. Actually, that's not doing anything, is it? Oh, that's the shading part. Okay, I know what I'm doing wrong. Ah, there we go. Okay, that just looks scary now. That just looks scary. Oh, you know what? I do like it though. It's got that kind of creepy vibe that I'm digging. Yeah. Alright, I'm leaving it. It's good enough for me. Alright, next thing. I'm going to drop shadow on the lasagna itself. Because I want it to stand out from the boy's body. Again, I don't want global lighting for this one because I want to push it down. Yeah, 90 degrees, that's perfectly fine. You can do something like that. Boom. And then for the boy's body, same deal. I actually want to use no distance, and I just want to push it out. There we go. Make him stand out from the background a little bit. That's looking pretty cool. I like that. I like that. So for the tentacles, because I don't want to put a layer style on every single one of them, I'm just going to merge these layers. Where is it? Merge layers. That way I can just hit them all at the same exact time. Makes life easier. And I will probably just put them down like that. That looks fine. That looks good. That looks good. I'm digging this. Lasagna boy, you are so sexy. Just gonna eat you right up. Let me know if that joke was terrible. I think it was pretty bad. Gonna eat lasagna boy up. That sounds horrific too. He's calamari. Why not? Okay. Now, after I'm kind of done editing, I just look at it and I say, is that okay for me? Do I approve of that? Now, again, looking at it, the background is a bit on the distracting side. Oh, I don't know. That was a little glitch right there. Two things you can do. You can desaturate it. So you can go back into the saturation settings here. And we can probably desaturate it and lighten it up. Sometimes that can help. Like that. Yeah, it looks actually a little bit better. You know, and you can kind of see the difference there. Maybe a little bit more color back in there. Don't want to take away too much of the Italian vibe. It actually looks pretty good. Or, what we can do is we can also just blow this up so we got bigger squares. And sometimes having bigger, blockier images behind it can kind of take away from it. And then you can also, here's another way you can do this. You can also blur it a little bit, which helps when it's up close and bigger. When the image is small, it gets harder to notice unless you actually like really exaggerate it. So yeah, it's actually not too bad. I actually like this the bigger blur better. This works for me. It actually reads better when it's smaller. When I make it this tiny, I go, yeah, can I see a lasagna boy? And if I see a lasagna boy, then I know I've done my job. Okay, well, that's pretty much it. And then I just save it as a JPEG and slap it on my video and wait till you guys see it. If it's interesting enough, I think maybe people click on it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I mean, I've heard a lot of people say that you should make your thumbnails consistent throughout your entire YouTube channel, that they should all look pretty similar in some sort of fashion. But for me, I mean, I really feel like it's a great way to express my artistic side and to have fun making thumbnails. I mean, there's no reason to say that a thumbnail has to just have, you know, the same text and then an arrow and then a number and then your face on one side of the thing, or a cartoon character that's always there on images. You know, have some fun. And sometimes I use clips from the game and just put some text over it because it's quick. You know, and there's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes I just happen to be in a rush, and I know everyone out there gets in a rush every once in a while. Not all of us have an actual person that we pay to make our thumbnails. So us unfortunate people who have to make our own thumbnails, sometimes, well, we gotta make the sacrifices. But I hope you found this somewhat entertaining or informative. If you got any questions, go ahead and just leave them in the comment box below. I'll definitely answer them if you need to. This is Photoshop CS6. This is pretty old, but it does its job, so gotta work with what you got, right? Anyways, if you enjoyed this video, give me a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe. Thanks for watching. Bye!